A big hello and a very warm welcome to a special episode of Brand Equity with me, Sonali Krishna. This week, Brand Equity travelled all the way to Goa to get you all the action, controversies, debates, discussions, awards and of course the sun and sand straight from Goa Fest 2016. Take it away. Now, before the 11th edition of the Abbeys kicked in, the new organising committee's goal was to keep the spotlight on the youth, and rightfully so. In fact, they even introduced two new categories under the Young Abbeys to target the young mad men and women under the age of 35. While the promise to reach out to the young Jones was all over the media as an attempt to refresh the theme, I got candid with the millennials themselves just to check if the Goa Fest committee delivered on their promise. They got candid and brutally honest, unlike our industry captains. This is a must-watch.
Hi, I'm Prerna Sharma.
Rohit.
Tara. Vismaya.
Nikhil Shankar.
I'm from HCL Technologies.
Group M Maxis.
At Brave New World Communications.
I work as a brand manager.
Part of creative team.
I'm a brand manager.
Creative controller.
Digital planning manager.
So we're at Goa Fest, and this year Goa Fest's new theme is all about focusing on the under 30s. And so here I am, joined by an eclectic group of under 30s who are very vociferous about whether the Goa Fest committee has actually delivered this time round or not. So let me kickstart this very interesting debate with, I think, the future of advertising, marketing and branding of this country. And let me put the question right back to them. So let me start with one of you who's ready with an answer, quick, sharp and crisp. Do you think this conference, the Goa Fest 2016, is actually serving, your age group, your demographic, which is under 30s? Yeah, let's start with you.
In my honest opinion, I would say that I did not even realize there was a special category like under 30. We were the preferred ones or something like that. There was, apart from the registration, I honestly, and I don't know about the group, but I felt that there was nothing special done for us or with any special focus. Yes, I do believe a lot could be done in terms of how we network as under 30s who are like budding marketers or advertising people.
So are you saying that you expect, let's say, because you have a lot of senior advertising, marketing professionals here, would you say, am I right to assume that what would be very beneficial for your group would be that if there was, let's say, a mentor who in a small group would actually take you through, so there's more touch feel experience with that one person, and so hence more exchange and learning?
I guess that's very true. If you get if you can interact with people on a one-on-one basis, or even for instance if we can have so across all the Goa Fest we've had the same kind of speakers, so what if we had young speakers, those who've excelled at a young age and who've done great work and have won awards,
So you're saying instead of having the same ad guys coming over,
why not have younger speakers who we can connect with and who've achieved a lot at this age.
So somebody who, let's say, who won like a gold at the
Absolutely,
Abbey, come
absolutely.
and talk about his experience.
Yeah, so that can inspire us
an amazing
to do
example.
to follow suit as well.
Yeah.
Coming from an agency background, you tend to get into that whole rut of working late hours, especially when you're just starting off, right? So what essentially this does to you is it just bogs you down initially. So that is very critical. That is a very crucial period, and under 30s is essentially what we're talking about right now. And you need that amount of impetus, that motivation that is required for you to keep at it and not give up in the first couple of years when you're working in an agency, right? I just came out of a Varun Agarwal seminar, and that I think was somewhere near the bullseye. I wouldn't say bullseye, somewhere near the bullseye. So probably you have a Balki and Karan Johar session, you have a Varun Agarwal session as well, but the specificity of what they're discussing probably makes a lot of sense. Without making it too vague, without making the topic of discussion extremely macro, I think it makes more sense to have have it hit that bullseye within that frame of 45 minutes to an hour.
Well said, well said. Yeah.
I think I just want to add what my friends just said. Collaboration of senior advertisement leaders versus under 30 leaders.
Okay, so you're saying that kind of jugalbandi should
Correct.
happen, right? When you have a senior, so maybe even reverse mentoring. Tell me, we finished, a significant time here at Goa Fest. Is this your first time?
Yeah, it is.
It's your first time. So what would be, for a first timer, a virgin at Goa Fest, what would be your first impressions of this, advertising festival?
It's funny you put it that way because I've been a part of a lot of other forums, and let me be very honest and candid that they have been very meaningful forums, actually adding more value than Goa Fest. Why? Because all of us, especially my age group, tends to be a part of these forums so that we can bring to the table what our bosses can't.
Great.
Yeah. And if a seminar was the point of attending this, then I'd rather hear TED Talks, where I'll actually find speakers who are there doing much better work and, actually have more experience or rather on any parameter.
Sure.
Why I come here is to actually meet agencies and to discover if they have anything that can really add value to my work.
Absolutely.
Right? And that kind of interaction is not really happening.
Networking needs to be more streamlined.
Yeah, absolutely. It has to be organized. There have to be platforms wherein you can actually just go and say, hi, I know what you do and you know what I do. And let's talk.
People who are at the helm of the industry and at the helm of this festival are broadly the same. And it's been the same over, let's say, the last decade or so, if not more. Do you think maybe it's time that they wake up and say, let's get some young guns onto the committee, let's get their inputs, and then let's design it together, right?
So, Shonali, I don't know if you were here yesterday, but there were 3 very senior people who actually spoke about their experiences with agencies.
Yes.
And the funny bit was that all of them said the same thing, that, the speaker before me has covered almost everything that I have to say.
Right.
Right. And that was very funny because, with that kind of experience, and all of them came from very different backgrounds.
Sure.
Right? And if none of them had anything to add, you're absolutely bang on target. We ought to have more people who have been exploring, let's say, different facets and can add a new viewpoint.
Sure.
So if I travel all this distance and I have 3 people with a cumulative 100 years of marketing experience telling me, I don't have anything new to add, that's like a...
Hang on. So would you say that as the format stands today, and the format has been the same for many years, would you say that, if nothing is done drastically to, let's say, shake this format up and infuse some new blood, this format will pretty much be irrelevant for a group like yours, and sooner than later, just getting free beer or free alcohol and, soaking in the sun is not going to be incentive enough for you to come here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
1 second, let me give something you haven't spoken.
Yeah, so the name itself, Goa Fest, implies that it's a mela. The perception increasingly is that because there are so many categories of awards and so many awards,
sure,
again it's a Janta award sort of thing, right? And I think in the talk it was mentioned that Low Lintas has sort of kept away from it.
There's Low, there's Ogilvy.
Yeah, exactly, precisely.
There's so many now.
So if all your top agencies are keeping away from this, is this gradually becoming the second rung awards in India or the third rung? I mean, it's going to go down. If your top guys are not there, it's going to go down. So to fix this, number one, it has to be made more exclusive, fewer categories which are more relevant, and for the fight for winning each of those categories has to be higher. Secondly, the number of people who participate has to be more limited, more exclusive.
Sure.
There has to be some qualifying criteria as to who can participate and who cannot.
Let me ask you guys another question. Have you guys been following the controversy around Goa Fest with these agencies wanting to participate, not participate? This constant ego massaging, please come.
Yeah,
Sometimes they come, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
What do you guys make of this ongoing drama?
I think, I mean, if I have to answer this, I think, it's just that, some agencies, feel that, that they're too big to, participate in an award like this. That, we'll be doing, great work and we don't need someone else to judge and tell us, that whether our work is good enough or not. So I think it's more of that because, and then you have agencies who keep their own awards. I'm saying that when you have, so every agency can have its own awards, and then, and then there is no platform for, people from one industry to come together, and celebrate excellence in work.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Let's let Ranveer Singh answer.
Yeah. So to add to his point, so basically, see, Goa Fest is what brings all the ad agencies together. And we as a fraternity, we are together. So we have to show our strength over here. You just can't back out. You're like, no, I'm just too big for this, or I just don't want to be there.
So you think because of this constant ego clashes amongst the top people in the industry, you think the current, the people, the aftermath or people who are actually suffering are actually the younger lot across agencies, because they don't give a damn whether, Piyush is fighting with Balki or Balki is fighting with Arvind Sharma or whatever, right? I mean, no, just pass it because let's get to the new people.
So I just read, before coming to Goa, I just read in the newspaper that this is the 10th anniversary of the Goa Fest. And since Piyush Pandey has been awarded with Padma Shri, so this time he will come.
That's true.
So see, again, this is, making news, just for making news, but his, the works which has been done is not being nominated in the, he's not participating in the Abbeys. So this is kind of demotivating. So
basically you're saying he's coming here, but
just for the fame. I mean, to put in a wrong, right was just for the fame, because you got a Padma Shri and this is the 10th anniversary, so that you're just coming just to have a one speech. That's it, but not interacting with the youngsters.
Sure.
So I think one thing that will help us all, especially because we're young and entering awards, is that the judging process, if it could be more transparent. Being on the outside and being somebody who's under 30 and wants to enter, if we can just hear their points of view, we'll know how to craft our entries better. So probably that transparency will...
We all know that digital, and we have been hearing this for last 2 days, digital is the way to go. I don't see anywhere digital is part of our folklore. Here at Goa Fest.
Sure.
Let me go back to...
But there is an app.
No, so... no, that is... If app is about digitalization, I'm sorry, the world is not moving in the right direction, number one. Second, the whole ideology of Goa Fest was about networking, number one. Second, showcase. Third, people coming here and interacting with each other, which is different from networking as Goa Fest puts it. I don't think either is happening. That's pretty much.
The gentleman next to you is dying to make a point.
I think
yes.
I had a point previously. So one again, the topic where it went, there are a lot of things, a lot of advancements that can be done in that application. There is a lot more scope. I'll not talk about the critics, something happened to conversation, but I think the positive part about this Goa Fest was that we come from brand side, HCL Technologies. We market, we advertise, we look for agencies to work. The good thing that I think agencies and we will get a scope is that when they win awards, we get to see there are several agencies in India who we can approach to. There were several times we were looking for agencies who can just create some websites for us and we couldn't find it.
Sure.
And this is the time which actually gives us that leverage that now we have, okay, Ogilvy is there is McCann is there, okay, this third agency is also there, won 7 awards in Abbey at Goa Fest, which is a very good point for us.
This has been a really invigorating session, but ma'am, why don't you conclude, let's say in bullet points, what Goa Fest did for you this year?
Yeah, just looking at how we fix this, right? What we figured, number one, nothing for under 30s, right? Nothing like a 30 or a 35 or a 45, everything was the same. No new content in what the speakers spoke, right? Very far from digital, everything, right? And the one thing I would want to add, just add maybe a training or a curriculum of sorts where the young guns like us come in actually to learn something as well and not just have beer.
Sure,
right.
Fair enough.
So,
I think that's a perfect closing to this really, really energetic discussion. I must say I've interviewed a lot of people at the Goa Fest this year and of course, many years in the past as well. And I must say this has been a truly one of my best interviews or discussions that I've taken at the Goa Fest. Very enlightening. Glad to see that the young guns are not yet part of the political race, are not, just backslapping each other for the sake of it, are very, very candid in terms of what they want and what they expect of others. And I'm hoping that as you guys, progress in your careers, you'll maintain that kind of spirit. Thank you so much for taking time out and joining us.